Hello, dear students. I welcome you all on behalf of Sri Jayendra Rank Zone classes. Dear student, we are going to study today a new chapter, and we are starting here a new chapter, that is organism and population of the ecology part. Okay, so we know that how the organism and population organism we are going to form a population. So first, when we talk about the introductory part, first we should understand this chapter is a part of ecology. Okay, so you should know that ecology specifically deals with the study of interactions and interrelationship. The ecology deals with the study of interaction and interrelationship between organism and their environment. Okay, ecology is mainly concerned with the study of interaction and interrelationship between organism and how organism and environment interact. That is actually studied in this ecology part. It is known that it is a branch of science which weighs a different area of biological information into a unifying principle. Thus, it gives a holistic purpose perspective to the biology. If we talk of this ecology, the essence of ecological understanding is to know how organisms interact with their other organism. So, what is the essence? So, be remember, essence of ecological understanding is to know how organism interact with other organism, interact with other organisms and physical environment. Okay, so essence of ecological understanding is to know how organism interact with the other organism and the physical environment as a group, how they interact as a group and hence behave like and hence behave like organized whole, that is population, community, ecosystem, or even as whole biosphere or biosphere. So how the organism interact with other organism and physical environment as a group, how the whole population interact with the environment and how they behave like organized whole as a population interact, how all these interact, that we actually discuss in this particular ecology. So this chapter describe all this emphasis, emphasizing more on the organism and population level. We are more emphasized on the organismic and population level. And in that, first we talk about the level of organization. Okay, so level of organization are important to understand this chapter. Then the particularly out of this organism and population are the two levels about which we are going to discuss in detail in this chapter. Okay, so there are various levels of ecological organization. So various levels of ecological organization are: number one, organism. Now, organism, if we talk about, there are several organisms. Now, organism combinedly going to form a population. So, initially, what organism is there? Now, organism will form the second level, that is population. So, organism of same species form population, and population of different species combinedly form community, that is third level of organization. So community means it include a, we can say, the different more than one population is there, then that is known as what, a community. Now when community interact with abiotic factor, it form ecosystem, that is fourth level. So ecosystem when formed, the ecosystem will form a fifth level, that is landscape. See, so if you want to understand this, how organism are there, this is the first level of organization, ecological organization. Organism is the individual, and if a organisms of a same species, then they are going to form a population. Suppose we are Homo sapiens, so Homo sapiens are so many millions are there, okay, and they are forming they are belong to only one species, that is Homo sapiens. So population is a group of what, individuals of the same species, or organism of species, same species. So population has only one species. But when population of a different species, suppose we go out and we start roaming here and there, and when we are there, we are a Homo sapiens, surrounding to the sparrow is there, then near about one cow is there, one parrot is there, one ant is there. So if different species are coming together and the population is there, so different population combinedly form a community. When community interact with the abiotic factor, that is going to form ecosystem. Okay, and where several ecosystem are there, like terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem, they combinedly form a what, a landscape. Now this landscape will again later on form a large level, that is biome, and this biome form a more large level, that is biosphere. Okay, so this are all are the particularly, we can say, the levels of organization. So if you want to understand each and every one, then first we are going to talk about a organism. So dear student, organism is a basic unit of study of ecology. It is basic unit of study of ecology. And at the level of organism, at this level, we try to understand form, physiology, behavior, distribution, and adaptations in relation to environmental conditions. Okay, so that is organism. After organism, the second level is a population. So as we have described, Population is nothing but it is a grouping of individuals. It is a grouping of individuals of same species inhabiting, inhabiting, not inhibiting, inhabiting. They inhabit or they survive a given area. So individuals of same species found in a given area, they will be combined known as what? A population. When several population combine, it is going to form a biological community. So in biological community, it is an assemblage or a group of population of different species present in an area. And this all different population which are present in one community, they show interdependence and interaction. They interact with each other, communities interact with each other, and they carry out interaction like competition, predation, host parasite interaction, amensalism. This all interaction they carry out. So the interaction between the communities, we will consider it in a separate topic in this continuation of this chapter. Then after this biological community are going to form a ecosystem. Okay, so ecosystem, if we talk, then ecosystem is composed of biological community. It is composed of biological community, and it is integrated with its physical environment, means abiotic factor. And here in ecosystem, exchange of energy and recycling of nutrient occur between community and its physical environment. So the ecosystem defined by the exchange of energy and recycling of nutrients. These are the two important events that takes place in the ecosystem and that occur between the what? Organism and the communities and the environment. After this, next level is the landscape. And it is known that it is a unit of land. It is a unit of land with natural boundary. With natural boundary having mosaic of patches, which generally represent which generally represent different ecosystem. So different ecosystem like terrestrial and, hope you know, terrestrial and ecosystem combinedly form a landscape. Might be you have drawn this diagram in your childhood. One river is going on. Here mountains are there, birds are here. Here some organism are running here. Okay, one house is there. Such diagram might be well drawn in your childhood. So this diagram, which has a terrestrial ecosystem here, and this is the aquatic ecosystem. So this terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem combinedly called known as landscape. Okay. After landscape, the biome will form by a combination of different landscape, and biome is defined as a large regional unit. It is large regional unit characterized by characterized by major vegetation type, major vegetation type, and associated fauna found in specific climatic zone. Found in specific climatic zone, then that is known as biome. So it consists of several landscape, and at last biome combinedly form a biosphere. And if we talk about this biosphere, it is a life supporting zone, life supporting zone, which which comprises of Earth's terrestrial and aquatic biome. Okay, so such a way the biosphere is formed. So these are the different levels of ecological organization, but we remember the important thing is that the ecology is basically concerned with four levels of organization of biological organization, and these four levels are: number one, organisms; number two, populations; number three, communities; and number four, biome. Okay, so ecology mainly deals with these four levels of organization, that is the organism, population, community, and biome, and it is one of the most important question that being asked in exam. Okay, so be remember this is the one of the important point. Now after this studying this many levels, at every level of organization two type of question arises. Okay, if we talk at every level, two type of question arise. Number one, that is how type of question, how type of question, and number two, why type of question. Okay, so any mechanism is there, we initially learn that how does a process occur and why does it occur. Okay, so for any process we ask this such type of question. For example, when we hear the bulbul singing in early morning in the garden, By hearing this, the singing of bulbul in the early morning, we ask a question that how does the we may ask how does this bird sing and why does the bird sing? Okay, so the how type of question seeks mechanism. Okay, so this type of question seek mechanism behind the process, that how it is taking place. But this why type of question, this type of question seeks significance of the process, that why it is taking place. So how type of question, talking about the mechanism, the how it is occurring. So first example to ask such type of question is that how does bird sing? How does bird sing and why does bird sing? So this way we can ask a question. Okay, so we may certainly come up with many interesting ideas from both type of question when we observe nature around us with a scientific frame of mind. In case of a both side example, the operation of voice box in the how does the bird sing? So we know that that is the answer to this as due to operation of the voice box or functionality of the voice box and vibrating bones. Okay, in the bird might this answer the first question, whereas the answer of the second question, that why does bird sing, so we can say it is for the communication with the other bird. Okay, so continue communicate with its mate actually. Okay, during breeding season. Okay, so such type of answer are possible. One seek a mechanism, another need a significance. Okay, so similarly we may also come up with many other similar questions, interesting question, and then solution. Like we can ask that why are night blooming flowers generally white? Okay, such type of question we can ask. And we know that night blooming flowers use their light reflecting properties and fragrance to attract the moth and other insect for the pollination. Okay, so that also we know. Therefore, they are white in color or light in color. Okay, another question we can ask that how does the bee know which flower has a nectar? So in that we know that the one bee whose job consists of scouting nectar flowers, and once the bee finds that particular flower having a nectar, it does figure eight bee dance, that is a signal for the rest. Okay, so what are the questions? Second question we can ask that what, why are night blooming flowers are generally white? So why they are white? So answer if we give to this question, it is to attract moth and other insects for pollination. Is same way we ask another question that how does we know, how does we know which flower has nectar? Has nectar. So as I said The one bee will identify the particular flower with the nectar, and it particularly it does figure 8 bee dance, that is signal for other bees. Okay, so such a type of question we can ask and we can get an answer. So just at every level we can ask such type of question. Now, so before starting the main topics of this ecology, we should know this we have understood what is ecology, what is the organism population, and what are the level of organization. So we should know some information like term ecology. Term ecology, if we talk, that is was first used by Rater in 1868. The second was the Ernst Haeckel, and Ernst Haeckel in 1886 first correctly defined ecology as the science. It is the science dealing with reciprocal relationship reciprocal relationship of of organism and external world. Okay, such we can particularly ecology defined by Ernst Haeckel like this. Apart from this, it is known that Professor Ramdev Mishra is known as father of ecology in India, and warming is known as father of plant ecology. And at last, the E.P. Odom, he defined it as, that is ecology, as study of structure and function of nature. Study of structure and function of nature. Okay, so this way this organism levels of organization was studied. Ecology, what is ecology, that we have understood, and this chapter is about what that we have understood. Okay, okay, so now we are going to talk about organism and environment. Let's study ecology of two types. There are two important types of ecology that we should know. Sometimes we will get this in exam. So ecology, if we talk, it has two main branches. Number one is horticology or species ecology. Now, what in autoecology or species ecology takes place? Here, there is a study of reciprocal relationship. It is a study of reciprocal relationship between every stage of development, every stage of development of species or population and its environment. So it is an interaction between the species or population and environment, and we study that, then it is known as species ecology or autoecology. And the second type is synecology. It is also a study of reciprocal relationship. So it is study of reciprocal relationship between composition, organization, and development of communities and their environment. Okay, so it is an interaction between or a reciprocal relationship between composition or organization and development of communities and environment. So when we study the communities and environment interaction, that is synecology. And when we study the interaction between species or population and environment, that is a autoecology. Okay. Now after this, the levels of organization and branches of ecology. Now we are going to talk about the organism and environment. First, how the organism interact with the environment and what are the particularly things which are included in this. So when we talk about the interaction of organism and environment, we know that ecology at organism level is essentially a physiological aspect. Okay, so if we talk here, it is known that ecology at organismic level is essentially a physiological aspect. Physiological aspect. Okay, and here at organism level, ecology tries to understand how different organisms are adapted to the surrounding environment, how they are adapted to the environment in terms of their survival and reproduction, how they adjust with the environment and they survive and they reproduce. We know that there is a rotating earth, a rotation of the earth around the sun, and the tilt of its axis causes an annual variation in the intensity and duration of temperature. And it results in formation of different seasons. There is a formation of different seasons like summer, winter, spring, autumn. Okay, and when these different seasons are forming, this variation in temperature together with the annual variation in precipitation, that is a rainfall and snow, account for the formation of major biome. So we remember variation in temperature, variation in temperature together with annual variation, annual variation in precipitation, that is rainfall and snow, account for formation of major biomes. Okay, so we remember the precipitation and temperature variation are the two responsible factors for the formation of different biomes. And when we talk about this biome, rainfall, temperature range, nature of soil, the barriers, latitude, altitude determine the nature and extent of the biome. Okay, these all factors are going to determine the nature and extent of the biome. So we will understand this biome in a better way when we talk about some important biomes in detail. And when we talk about here biomes, we are going to talk about mainly a terrestrial biome. And in terrestrial biome, the tundra, taiga, temperate forest, grassland, that is a temperate grassland, and tropical savanna grassland, desert, tropical rainforest, such biomes are formed. Okay, so if we want to understand this all biome, we have to note down a detail about them one by one. Okay, and we have to discuss their particular things. So first biome which we are going to discuss, that is a tropical rainforest. When we discuss tropical rainforest, dear student, first we talk about location. And if we talk about a location, location is equatorial and subequatorial region of Central America, okay, South America, parts of Africa, and Southern Asia. Generally, question from location they do not ask, but you should remember know that what is the location. And when we talk about tropical rainforest, mean annual temperature, okay. So first we talk about this. Okay. Now this tropical rainforest. Now we are going to talk about the features of tropical rainforest. So when we talk about the features, it is known that these tropical rainforests are rich in biodiversity. They are rich in biodiversity. Here the trees are 30 to 40-meter tall trees are seen in this tropical rainforest. And here they have buttress roots. Buttress roots means the roots which are somewhat above the level of soil. Okay, they have a drip tips, maximum leaching, okay, and woody climbers and epiphytes are found here. Woody climbers and epiphytes are seen here in the tropical rainforest, that is the first biome of the world. Now after this we talk about second biome. And when we talk about second biome, we talk about it, that is coniferous forest or temperate needle leaf forest. Temperate needle leaf forest, or we can say taiga. If we talk about its location, the location is cold temperate region of cold temperate region of Asia, North America, Europe, and south of tundra. Okay, so these are the regions where these coniferous forest or needle leaf forests are found. Now, if we talk about its features, in the coniferous forest, they are found in temperate region. They have 30 to 35-meter tall trees. Then evergreen trees. These trees are evergreen trees, and leaves. If we talk, they are long needle-like. Leaves long needle-like. And if we talk about the examples of the plant, then pinus we call it as a pine. Then deodar, which is also known as cedrus. Then cypress and silverfir. Silverfir is also known as abies. Like coniferous plant, conifers of gymnosperm are grown in this particular biome. After this, when we talk about a third biome, which is important, that is a temperate broadleaf forest. And when we talk about this temperate broadleaf forest, if we talk about location, it is known that this temperate broadleaf forest are found in temperate areas of America, Europe, Asia, New Zealand, and Australia. If we talk about their features, they have 25 to 30-meter tall trees are found in this temperate broadleaf forest. Then these leaves are broad, so they have a broad leaf. And in the particular temperate broadleaf forest, several species of oak predominates. Okay, so such thing is seen in the third, that is a temperate broadleaf forest. After this, next biome is the fourth biome, that is grassland. And if we talk about this grassland biome and their location, it has given a different name in the different location. In Russia, it is known as steppes. In North America, it is known as prairies. In South America, it is known as pampas. In South Africa, it is known as velds. In New Zealand, it is known as tussock. And in Australia, it is known as downs. Now, if we talk about the features of this particular biome, then in features, grassland is a tree-less biome. Why it is a tree-less biome? Because in this grasses are found which are of Apoaceae family. They are predominates. And here non-gramineous means which are not belonging to the monaceae. So non-gramineous herbs are included, mostly legumes. Okay, so this is the what a grassland, a tree-lace biome. That is the most favorite question they ask from this part. Okay, after this, the fifth biome is tundra. And if we talk about this tundra, and if we talk about its location, the in and they are also named different, that their location is North Arctic tundra and they are absent in south regions. But if we talk about the features, they have important features like the subsoil remain frozen, that is permafrost. Okay, then they have a scanty vegetation, means slight vegetation is seen. And here trees are absent. Grasses, sedges, mosses, and lichens are found growing or present in the tundra. And the known plant which grow, that is birches, which is also known as betula, and willows, that is known as salix. Okay. After this tundra, the next biome is the desert. And in desert, if you talk about location, there are two types of desert. That is a cold desert, which is found in Tibet, which is known as Gobi region. Then the hot desert, which are named, they are Thar and Sahara. Now, when we talk about the features of this biome, that is desert, we'll come to know that the vegetation is less, means vegetation is sparse. And here in these three type of plants are found. Number one are ephemeral, means short-lived annual plants. Short-lived annual herb. Second is succulent xerophyte. And third are deep-rooted shrubs and small trees. And if we talk about this example which are going grow in this, then they are prosopis, tamarix, sancrus. The sancrus is desert grass. Okay, so this biome are particularly found. And if this is some information in this some features, location you will not remember, then it's okay. Just you remember the cold location of the desert and the grassland. Otherwise, other locations are not necessary. But features you should remember in this biome part. Now this is the NCRT diagram which is showing a mean annual precipitation versus mean annual temperature graph, where it is showing a biome distribution with respect to the annual temperature and precipitation. Dear student, be remember that this diagram is too much important with respect to NEET. Okay. In this labeling you should remember. So the temperature is high in desert, but mean annual precipitation is low, so desert is this one. Then compared to this, the temperature in grassland is obviously high, okay, but the annual precipitation is also somewhat more. And we have studied that a grassland is specifically, we can say, a tree-laced biome and grasses mainly grow. Then this is the tropical forest, which is near the equator, so it has a seasonal variation, and we can say the mean annual precipitation is also in a particular large range. Then there is a temperate forest. These are the coniferous forests, and these are the alpine alpine tundra. Okay, so labeling you should remember in this particular graph. Directly, they will ask a question with respect to the labeling. Okay, now the regional and local variation within each biome lead to the formation of wide variety of habitat. And we know that organism can exist in both favorable as well as extreme harsh conditions, such as scorching Rajasthan desert, perpetually rain-soaked Meghalaya forest, deep ocean trenches, okay, permafrost polar regions, high mountain top, boiling thermal springs, stinking compost pit, and such extreme condition also their organism live. And human intestine, if we talk, is also a unique habitat of several species of microbe. So variation in the mean annual temperature and precipitation, which we have studied, that leads to the formation of some important biome in India. Okay. So if we talk about a comparative study of the major biomes of India, then we remember that there are four major biomes of India. And if you talk about four major biomes, then we are going to write the name of the biome, then the mean annual temperature, that is in degrees Celsius, then mean annual rainfall, that is in millimeter, and at last we are going to talk about the example of plants which are can be grown in this. So first is the tropical rainforest. Now the mean annual temperature in this, that is 23 to 27 degrees Celsius, and the rainfall is 2000 to 3500 millimeter. And the example of the plant which grow here, that is a Dipterocarpus and Hopia. These are the two examples of the plant which found in the tropical rainforest. The second biome which is found in the particularly India, which is important major biome, that is a tropical deciduous forest. And in tropical deciduous forest, the temperature is 22 to 32 degrees Celsius. And here 900 to 1600 the millimeter mean annual rainfall is seen. And here the examples are Sal, Teak, Tendu, Chironji, and Kher. These are the examples of these particular plants. After this, the third major biome of India, if we talk, then it is tropical broadleaf forest. And if we talk about the mean annual temperature, that is 6 to 20 degrees Celsius, and the mean annual rainfall is 1000 to 2500 mm. And the species which grow mainly in this region, that is oak, which is also known as quercus. And apart from this, the fourth biome which is found here, that is temperate needle leaf forest. And this temperate needle leaf forest is show 10 to 15 degrees Celsius of temperature and 500 to 1700 of mean annual rainfall. And the plant which grow in this temperate needle leaf forest are the pine, deodar, cypress, spruce, and silverfir. Okay, so these are the four major biomes which are found, we can say, we can say in India. Okay, so that is all about the what a discussion of the biome. Okay, I hope you understood well, and this is all about the biome. Now, these four biomes are shown in this diagram that you should remember. This is the major biome of India. Tropical rainforest is this is the tropical rainforest. Then this is the deciduous forest. These are the desert, and these are the sea coast. Okay, so this is all about the particular the major biomes of India. Okay, so I hope you have understood, and that is all about the levels of organization and the different biomes. Thank you.